bit rate to jump where it needs to go, so we're holding steady. We're in green, good health on OBS. Waiting for Twitch to update. We are now live according to Twitch. Waiting, yep, there we go. Alright. Yep, everything's looking good, so let's get some introductions out of the way. Hey everyone, I'm grekaosangel, and welcome to another stream of Final Fantasy VIII. This is the 23rd session I've done in 22. Basically, we did a lot of, not all of the side quests that are available on Disc 3 after getting the Ragnarok, but we did a few of them. We went ahead and acquired the GF Doom Train. We fought and acquired Cactar by defeating Jumbo, Cactar, and Cactar Island. We went to the Deep Sea Research Center to acquire the GF Bahamut. I pointed out where the island closest to Hell and the island closest to Heaven was located on the map, as well as the various draw points you can draw magic from. Very good spells. Doesn't take too long for them to recharge, even though you only get a handful at each location. I also showcased an Esthar where, as long as you're on Disc 3 and you haven't gone to Lunatic Pandora, where you can get respawnable fixed encounters with Elnoils, which if you card, you don't gain any experience and you get their card, which you can then refine into energy crystals for various uses, such as some characters' ultimate weapons. And that's pretty much what we're doing. We're going to go ahead. Well, let's just dive in, and I'll kind of explain what we're doing here. One of the big thing you'll notice is we've now suddenly jumped to like a good 2 or 3 hours later. Most of that was just me acquiring the necessary components for what we're doing in this final Disc 3 stream, because we are going to be finishing Disc 3 this time. I am currently on the island closest to Hell. I've been acquiring the various draw points here. So let's kind of go over, first and foremost, our junctions, because I've readjusted everything. I mean, this isn't exactly, you know, OCD kind of had to have 100 in everything kind of perfection, but this is what we're going to probably be going into the final battles of the game with. If I can talk this morning, jeez, I'm getting tongue-tied. So for Rinoa, we're looking at having I am so sorry there. Try to hold that cough in. For Rinoa, she's level 12. HP, we have junctioned 100 Ultima. For strength, we have 100 triple junctioned. Vitality, we have not quite 50 full lives. Meteor is attached to our magic spell, 89 of them. And 100 Curagas to our spirit stat. We have in our elemental defense 100 flare, which gives us 80% elemental defense against fire, ice, and lightning, or fire, blizzard, and thunder, however you want to look at it. And we have 100 holy and 45 pain attached to our status defense, which gives us a decent spread of defense against certain things. Not 100%, but it's good enough. We also have Quetzalcoatl, Shiva, Siren, Pandemona, and Doomtrain as our GFs on Rinoa. For Squall, you'll notice very, very similar junctioned spells. We of course have 100 Ultima on his HP, 100 triple on his strength. I believe this one we have 100 full life for vitality, 100 meteor for magic, and 100 Curaga for spirit, 100 tornado for speed, and we don't have anything junction to hit because Squall by default has 255% chance of hitting. Same thing, 100 flare and the elemental defense, 100 holy, and 45 for pain. Obviously, the higher we would have gotten that, the better we would have defended against certain things, but there's just no need to worry about anything more than that. For GF, he's got Ifrit, Carbuncle, Leviathan, Cerberus, and Bahamut. Zell, he's sort of our off man for the team. You know, we didn't really deck him out as much as everyone else. 100 Quake. I'm not quite sure. 75 Triple, 58 Meltdown, 100 Death, and 100 Kiraga. 75 Holy and 100 Aura. Kind of gives you his spread. And we currently don't have anything equipped here, just because we don't really have much use for it, honestly. I mean, I guess the best thing we could do is go ahead and jump in here, see who has some really good Thundagas. Go ahead and give that to Zell. Now, where is Firaga? I think the only one that has that is Renoa. I swear I had more than that. I mean, I can actually just jump right into our abilities here and mod it. Ooh, that's nice to have. We really only need one of those. And let's see, ice. Do we have anything here that we can mess with? He's already got 100, so we'll go into Thundaga. So go ahead and junction. We're just gonna give him 2 of those. Obviously he has the remaining GFs, Brothers, Diablos, Alexander, Cactar, and Tonberry. For abilities, Zell has magic, draw an item. Magic predominantly because we're going to be using like the Meltdown, fairly common. He's got initiative, so he goes first, obviously to buff us or to debuff our enemies. Massive boost in HP and the Encounter None ability. Squall, of course, has auto haste as well as an additional strength plus 120%, so he deals a lot of damage. And Renoa, of course, strength 60%, vitality 40%. And both her and Squall have the GF draw and item abilities, because we don't want to be wasting their magic. The only thing we have left to do with that is we don't currently have their best weapons. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to call the junk shop, which I believe is a feature that Doom Train comes with. No, maybe it's Bahamut. Cactar, I think. Somebody has... It's not Tonberry. Somebody came with the junk shop. Oh, duh, it's right there. I missed it completely. Doom Train came with that. So what we can do is from anywhere in the world, anywhere really, we're going to go ahead and get what we need. To get Lionheart, we currently have 4 Dragon Fangs. We have more than enough pulse ammo. We need adamantine. Now, Dragon Fangs are a drop from the enemy Grindel. They're found over near where Galbadia Garden used to be in the forest. You have to run along the cliff that spans that little passageway. And you want to be on the left side, the one that's the Monte Nero Pass or something like that. Monte Rosa or something. That's the right one. If you go to the other side where it says something else, Timber or something, that's not correct. Pretty much you always run into Grindles there. Since we're in a low level, 20 and below, they drop Dragon Fangs almost all the time. Pulse ammo is simply acquired by refining energy crystals, which you need. Either you get them from Elnoil by defeating them, or by carding, getting 10 of their cards and converting that into 1 energy crystal. You need at least 2 because you get 6. I'm sorry, you get 10 pulse ammo by ammo refining energy crystals. You need 12. The adamantine we acquire by card modding the Minotaur card into 100 adamantines. Which since we're not going to be playing any more Triple Triad, that's exactly what we're going to go with. Renoa, we already have the Raijin ring, which was acquired by I think 10 chimeras. The cards, at least, refined into that. Windmills, we're going to be able to, I believe, Pandemona also card mods into 100 of them. Or you just card mod some Abyss Worms if you have them. The Force Armlet, you can get, I believe, as either an item. I don't think it's an item in the pet shop of Esthar. I think you have to get it as a prize. There's other ways of getting them, and of course energy crystals again with the Elnoil. So what we're going to do is, since this is, you know, pretty much we're not going to be doing any more Triple Triad, we're going to card mod Pandemona, a card that we never really used, and we're going to card mod Minotaur to get 10 adamantines, not 100. I don't know why I was thinking that. And now, just like that, we now have the Leonhart and Renoa's Shooting Star. And now we have the Leonhart Limit Break. I'm going to go ahead and save. Okay, pretty much that's all we need to kind of worry about before we head off to Lunatic Pandora to go through and finish Disc 3. One thing of note, if you want to know more or less what the best junctions are for certain things, my last stream I talked about it towards the end, what's the best kind of magic spells to junction to what stats. Another thing, we are missing one GF that we'll get on Disc 4. You haven't seen Phoenix, which I'm going to try to use at some point in the final battles, so you guys get to see what it looks like. Odin, we may or may not go after, because it has to be done in Disc 4, and at that point, why even bother? We're going to be able to beat the game. We don't really need him. Because if we had him now, we'll get a different GF that kind of randomly spawns. It's not something we really want to deal with, so... yeah. So once you think that you're ready to take on Lunatic Pandora, all you have to do is get in the Ragnarok. And if I'm not mistaken, we're going to set a course for, I remember, I think it's Lunatic Pandora Laboratory, or it's the Memorial. I don't think it's the Memorial. I think it's one of these locations. Wherever the lunar cry came down at. And we'll know we're in the right place when we see the giant thing floating above it. Nope, it must be Tears Point. Yep, Tears Point. That's what I thought. And we're going to actually land and save here, since we are right outside of it. Now, I will note that this is the lowest level I've ever been going into the end of this disc is, you know, 12, 13, 15, somewhere in there. Normally I'm used to being somewhere in the neighborhood of like 30 to 40 by the time I finish a game. And I know we're still got a ways to go, we're not quite done, but all you gotta do to move on to Lunatic Pandora is just drive the Ragnarok right into it. I guess fly is the correct terminology. This is a pretty cool FMV we're about to watch though, in my personal opinion. Okay, I'm trying to think. I want to head down. Yes, that's where we want to go. I think we just go down here to get out. Perhaps not. I want to say it's one of these directions. This must be it. Alright, we're now in the Lunatic Pandora. Okay, so this is our final fight with Raijin and Fujin. Raijin level 1 through 43 is his range, HP 5400 to 20, just a little over 22,000. 12 AP for defeating him, weak to poison, time and a half of course. We can steal power wrists, don't see much point in it. You can draw Thunder, Protect, and Shell. Over level 20 plus you get Thundara instead of Thunder. over 30 becomes Thundaga. Pretty typical stuff as we've seen in past trends for the bosses. Fujin again levels range of 1 through 43, HP range of 5300 to just under 18,000. Arrow, Cure, Life is our available spells. 20 plus, Kira becomes available. 30 plus, a lot of things change. Arrow stays the same, but it becomes Cure becomes Curaga. Life becomes Full Life, and you can draw Tornado. 8 AP for defeating her. Poison is what she's weak against, time and a half because she's human. I'm assuming is the reasoning behind that. And you can steal some Mega Elixirs, which we really don't need to worry about. And pretty much we're just going to kind of beat the crap out of them. Nasty. And you put it on the one character that I don't care if they gets it. And just like that, we won. Now you might be wondering, why don't we try to steal Mega Elixirs? They might be useful. In fact, the reason we don't is because if we, I believe it's Bahamut. If we refine Bahamut's card, we can get 100 Mega Elixirs. I mean, before, if we had done that with Angela, we would have gotten 100 of them. Mega Elixir is obviously the best, so we're just going to go ahead and do that now. We might as well, we're just, start refining these things to see what happens. And let's just see what some of these things do, because I don't quite know what they do. Auto Reflect. Magic 60, Spirit 60, Vitality 60. We have a lot to raise strength, so let's just do that to Squall. What is the... Okay, I know we already looked at that. That's the Odine Band. Yeah, this is the one about... yeah, if one of the things I mentioned about the side quest you could have done is the UFO and the little alien poo-poo, capital P, U, capital P-U. Kind of cool. But alright, I think we're pretty much set to kind of be unstoppable. Even more so than we were. So we want to use this little tube here. One thing to note is every enemy in this area is level 1. I don't know why they did it. It's kind of reminiscent. It might be something to do with one of the earlier Final Fantasies, because in Final Fantasy IX, Ispin's castle is also all level, like low-level enemies. In the sense that, though, if you use your base weapon, you're like super strong. The weaker the weapon, the stronger you become. It's weird. Alright, we want to take elevator 2 down. I can't remember if this was anything useful. No, we don't need that. We've got all of it. Let's see. I believe we go through the number 1 elevator. Hello there. Is it Majesty? As in a play on Majesty. I always wish there was more you could do in Ispin's Castle. I know there's a few, like a really cool trick is once you've got into Disc 4, if you ever return there, you'll notice a distinct amount of mist has sort of overtaken the outside of it. Something that might be the thesis for why a lot of areas are kind of branched and kind of like unavailable on Disc 4 because of the giant IFA tree roots. Most people kind of say it's just because of the amount of information on the disc they had to close off certain areas. It's hard to say which is the actual case, but it's interesting to theorize on that. You might remember the last time we were in here, a golden one kind of threw us out. Now we actually have to fight one, and this one's actually kind of difficult fight. Alright, this is Mobile Type 8, level range 1 through 41, HP range 30, just over 30,000 to just under 43,000, just over 42,000, you know, at that 300 area. You can draw Fire, Blizzard, Thunder, or Flare. If you're over 20, those spells become the Aura versions. Over level 30, they become Aga, like we've been seeing that trend lately. 40 AP for defeating it. It is weak to Thunder, double damage. You can steal a laser cannon, but the thing is, this thing has 2 different forms, which you're going to want to pay attention to. In its first form here, if we attack the torso, it counters with Twin Homing Laser, which can do a bit of damage. In its second form, the very first thing it's going to use is Corona, which turns all of our HPs to 1. It reduces the whole party to 1 HP. And it will follow that up with Medigo Flame, which deals about 2,000 damage. Now, Medigo Flame, I believe, is also very similar to what the Chimeras in Final Fantasy X use as like their fire attack, which is, I wonder if it has some kind of history in the earlier Final Fantasies. I'm sure it does, I just don't know quite what it is. But yeah, That's pretty much the stuff we have to pay attention to towards this boss fight, and yeah. I do agree with wanting to know more on the history of Ispin and the companion and stuff. Let's see how much damage that's going to do. Oh, that's nothing. In fact, I'm gonna go have Zell give Squall a limit break. Let's see how this goes. It's interesting that Final Fantasy IX doesn't give us more information about certain things concerning how in-depth their their allegiance to all the other Final Fantasy in the game, all other Final Fantasy games that are in the game. They really go in depth with a lot of stuff that you just wouldn't realize until you've seen it. It's really cool. Now, normally what would have happened had we not just completely overkilled this thing is after enough damage it probably would have switched to its second form. But as you can see, Leonhart is overpowered, on top of us being already overpowered in such a low level. And another reason we don't ever bother with stealing, because we just got it as a drop. I don't know if Quistis already knows the laser cannon. But now she does. She knows homing laser now. Onward we go. Oh, this is actually a good point to actually go back and save. Any farther into Lunatic Pandora will result in everything that you want to be able to do as a side quest, pretty much, will no longer be an option. Most side quests will be completely null and void once we continue any further, because after that we'll be going into Disc 4 and pretty much nothing's available at that point. In fact, the things that we will only have access to on Disc 4 will be the final dungeon, of course our airship Ragnarok, the Deep Sea Research Center, Tomb of the Unknown King, the Central Ruins, of course, that's where we can get Odin if we wanted to, Crash Site, I believe that has something to do with the UFO, I'm not sure. All the Chocobo Forests, of course, if you want to do Chocobo side quests. The Fire Cavern, Trabia Canyon, and Tears Point. That's it. We can't go anywhere else, which is the reason we got Tonberry and the ability to call shop, because that's important. Once you get to Disc 4 and you need to buy stuff, it's good to have that. Okay, so let's push forward and finish up Disc 3. Now you can see how kind of tattered and worn Seifer's outfit's become after all of the stuff that he's been through on his side of the world and stuff, and being repeatedly defeated by us. Here's the last and final time that we will be taking on Seifer. Now this is why it's important that if you want to have Odin, that you don't acquire Odin before Disc 4. Because if you have Odin as a GF, which again is not readily summoned, he kind of summons out at the beginning of battles, there's a specific script that runs that will summon Odin in the beginning of this fight, and Seifer will destroy Odin. Straight up kill him. The advantage to doing that is you get the GF Gilgamesh, which functions just like Odin, only instead of coming at the beginning of a battle if he's going to show up, Gilgamesh can show up at any point at any time in any battle. So he's less predictable, but kind of cool in the sense that he does different things, uses different weapons, as far as I understand it. So if you want Gilgamesh, now would have been the time to have Odin on your GF team. If you only want Odin, then obviously you want to get him on Disc 4. But anyways, this is the final fight with Seifer, level range 1 through 45, HP range 3700 to 34,500. Same kind of spells, Fire, Thunder, Blizzard, 20 level plus becomes Aura, 30 level plus becomes Aga, 40 AP, weak to poison, time and a half. You can steal a hero from him, but ultimately we're just going to be beating the crap out of him. And down he goes. Alright, we'll move Quistis over. We are going to want to go ahead and move Renoa's junctions over to Quistis. And there is Adele. And that is it for Disc 3. Next time we'll be moving on to Disc 4, finishing up this last little bit of Lunatic Pandora. We're going to get to see what time compression is like. We're going to go after Ultimecia. I don't believe we're going to finish Disc 4 the next stream. We're going to probably get through a lot of the other stuff and right before the final battle. That's my goal. And then one final stream beyond that will see us to the very end of the game, the credits, all that good stuff. So I want to thank everybody for watching. If you're checking this out on YouTube and you like what you see, be sure to subscribe to my channel, like and comment on the video below. Follow me on Twitter and Twitch if you want to have updates about when things go live, when I'm going to be streaming, what I'm going to be streaming. If you want to participate, be sure to pop on to Twitch, chat it up, be more than happy to answer questions or to engage in various different types of discussions as I'm playing through games. Once again, thanks for watching my stream of Final Fantasy VIII. I'm grekaosangel. I will see you all next time.